Chair now recognizes Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. With the backdrop of March, the month where we annually celebrate Women's History Month, I introduce a resolution to examine the number of women sitting on executive boards of directors in Philadelphia, or the lack thereof. Pat Coulter, president of the Urban League of Philadelphia, recently authored a piece revealing that women comprise an abysmal 10% of executive board seats in Philadelphia. Nationally, the number is 16%, and in Congress, women hold an abysmal 17%. Overall, we know that women in the United States still earn an unacceptable 77 cents of every dollar that men earned. With this resolution, we will hold hearings and ask corporate leaders, many of whom sit on the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce, to come and testify and answer the question, do you have women at the table? In politics, the saying goes, if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. The issue of lack of women at the table is the root of a greater problem that is plaguing our national public dialogue. When women are not at the table, public debate that amounts to an all-out assault on women's rights takes center stage when it does not even belong in a theater. When women are not at the table, we debate about whether women have the right to affordable contraception. When women are not at the table, we debate whether bosses should dictate the individual procedures and medicines they are willing to cover. When women are not at the table, we debate whether women should be forced to jump through hoops and get mandatory invasive procedures before they can make a decision about their own body and health. When women are not at the table, we end up with prominent figures calling women revolting names in the public square. I will not elevate some who view him as an entertainer, others view him as a comic, by giving him undue attention. However, as the mother of a teenage daughter, I would be remiss not to be at the very least express my disgust at the rude, crude, and disrespectful commentary we heard recently from Mr. Limbaugh. As President Barack Obama stated, his comments are not even suitable or respectable for any public discourse. Lastly, when women are not at the table, we do not have a say in who gets invited to the table. I share here, Mr. President, a picture from 2012 where the House of Representatives Oversight Committee had a hearing on insurance coverage for contraception. If you look closely, you'll see that they're all men at the table. For those that think this photo is not relevant or does not represent a larger problem, we would be reminded of a blast from the past that is similar. In 1991, the Senate Judiciary Committee, an all-male committee, sat in judgment of whether Anita Hill, an attorney and professor, was lying about being sexually harassed. Unfortunately, these images play out in boardrooms every day, in companies everywhere across America. It's not acceptable, and therefore all are invited to have your say at the table. I invite all of my colleagues to sit at the table as we reignite a new dialogue about what we should do and could do so that we're not looking at these same images 20 years from now. Thank you, Mr. President.